guys, welcome to my newest video for today. For today's video I'm going to be filming the second part of my DVD Blu-ray end of the year update. If you saw the first part, you will know this part is going to be about the movies that I've picked up over the last few weeks. So I'm just going to get straight into it, and starting off I have 4 movies that I got from Sanity, and because this is in order basically how I picked these movies up. So the first lot is from Sanity. There's a 4 for $50. So I picked up Chappaquiddick, which up until I got it I hadn't seen, but I have since watched it. I thought this was it was decent. It was about the scandal with Ted Kennedy, and how one of his staffers, he was in a car accident and she ended up dying, and it was like the fallout from that. I thought there could have been a bit more build up in the lead up to it, but other than that it was a pretty by the numbers, I guess, scene from scene, maybe not scene from scene, but a recreation of it. There we go. But yeah, it wasn't bad or anything. It was just, I thought could have been a bit more. So that's that one. And then one I haven't seen, but it's one I'm interested in, and that is Magdalene. So I'm not a very religious person. I consider myself to be agnostic in terms of religion, but I'm interested in this more from I guess historically, a period drama, more than a biblical, an authentic, I guess, biblical story. But I am interested in it because I actually do find Mary Magdalene to be quite a fascinating character, and sort of be interesting to see something focused on her. So yeah, I think it'd be something that I would enjoy. So that's Mary Magdalene. And then this next movie is one that I haven't owned. I didn't have this on DVD. It's been years since I've seen it. I last watched it probably in 2005 because I studied this film for HSC English, and because our theme was physical journeys, and the movie, it got recently released on Blu-ray, so I decided to pick it up, and that is Rabbitproof Fence. It's based on a true story. It's centered around a rather dark period in our Australian history, revolving around the stolen generations. And this one's about 3 girls who are taken from their remote Aboriginal community, and they're taken to I guess a religious, I think it's a religious organization where they're sort of trained to be domesticated workers, and it's basically about them trying to get back home, and because they're quite a distance away. Yeah, it's very good, but it's also, as you can imagine, quite sad and depressing, and the fact that this kind of stuff actually did happen, because it's only been, so when was the apology? It was 2008, I want to say, Kevin Rudd's apology to the victims of the stolen generation. So it's only been in the last decade that the government's actually acknowledged sort of what went on in this period, or maybe acknowledge people knew it, they knew it happened, but they refused to accept responsibility for it. So yeah, so I'm curious to see what rewatching this film's going to be like, because it's been, as I said, it's been a while since I've seen it. So yeah, that's Rabbitproof Fence. And then the last one I got in this batch was Ready Player One. I did enjoy this, because this is obviously the newest film by Steven Spielberg. I enjoyed it, but the book is a million times better. I loved the book, and they changed so much in this. Because I'm glad I actually saw the trailer before I went into the movie, because I knew from the trailer, I got a completely different vibe from with the trailer than what the book would have been like, and so I'm glad I sort of went in there, because I think I would have been disappointed otherwise. But it's an enjoyable, like, you know, sci-fi film, but yeah, the book is a million times better, and I highly recommend reading the book. So, but I did still want the movie for my collection, so I went ahead and picked it up. So that's Ready Player One. And then I got the newest, like the most recent MCU release, and that is Ant-Man and the Wasp. I quite enjoyed this one. It's not like an absolute favourite in the MCU films, but I thought after the events of Infinity War, like where it completely broke my heart, and I'm sure a lot of other people's as well, this was like a nice light relief from it. And yeah, definitely based on the trailer for Avengers Endgame and obviously what happens at the end of this film, I'm curious to see how that all resolves. So but yeah, that's Ant-Man and the Wasp. I did pick that up for the MCU film collection. And then from JB, I randomly have I picked this movie up. I got Before I Fall, which is, because I actually read the book. I finished that at the start of the month, and I really enjoyed it a lot more than what I thought I would, and I wanted to see the movie, which it's based on, because this is basically like she's it's a group of, like, the main girl, she's sort of part of the, I guess she's super popular, but she's like she's quite mean as well, and she's sort of yeah, she's sort of one of those type of girls, and she basically ends up in a car crash. Like, she goes to a party with her friends, they end up in a car crash, and then she wakes up the next day as if nothing had happened, and she has to repeat the same day over and over, and she sort of well, because it's like the book, yeah, she has to repeat it over and over until she begins to realise there's a reason she's still she hasn't like moved on, so she sort of has to figure that reason out. And so yeah, so it's yeah, very like Groundhog Day-esque, but it's one of my favourite tropes, again, like characters having to relive the same day over and over. But I wanted to see what the movie was like, so I went ahead and picked it up. So Before I Fall. And then I got a few movies from Amazon. So I got a movie that I actually was planning to see at the cinema and just never got round to it, and that is Love and Friendship. This is a period drama. I think it's based on like a Jane Austen novel that wasn't completed, or it was a short story, something like that. But I think this is something that I would enjoy, because I do love period dramas. So yeah, so that's Love and Friendship. Then I got one film this thought that I have seen, and that is Red Sparrow with Jennifer Lawrence. I actually thought this was pretty decent. It actually surprised me at the end with the twist, so it sort of kept me. I liked how they sort of did that reveal and that, but yeah, I did enjoy this film, so I wanted to add it to the collection. And then probably a movie that everyone is going to be going, why did you pick that up? But I got A Wrinkle in Time. I know this movie has been like, I think it's like one of the worst rated movies like on IMDb. I don't think I've seen many people give it anything higher than, like, say a 3 out of 10, but it was cheap on Amazon and I want to see what it's like, so I thought, yeah, why not? So I didn't really pay that much for it, so I got A Wrinkle in Time. So I know going in not to expect too much, so maybe that'll, if I'm going not expecting a lot, it might sort of make it, I might end up enjoying it, who knows. Sort of similar to this one. Again, this is like a low, like a fairly low rated movie, and it didn't do too well at the box office, so I don't think it's going to get any more like spin-offs, because it's based on a trilogy of books. I did read the first book, so I wanted to watch the movie, and that is The Darkest Minds. Again, I quite enjoyed the book, but I think for me, if I'd read the book, like, say 6 years ago or so when I was reading The Hunger Games, I would have gotten so much more out of it. And again, I think this one sort of missed the mark as well. I think it should have come out like a few years prior, because I think a lot of people are kind of over dystopian stories, so yeah, but I'm still curious to check this one out and see what it's like. And yeah, so I got that. And then another couple, oh, and I got this one and the next two from Sanity. So actually I think, oh no, there's one that's not from Sanity, but a lot of these movies I did pick up from Sanity. So the next one that I got was Searching. I've heard a lot about this one, and I know it takes place pretty much entirely online, which I sort of love those type of movies. So yeah, I thought this one would be an interesting one to check out. So I got Searching, and then randomly I picked up Teen Titans Go to the Movies. I've never seen the TV show that this is based on, but based on the snippets I've seen, it looks like so much fun, and I thought this would be a kind of fun one just to put on and sort of not take too seriously, but just for some light-hearted entertainment. So I got that. Then I got another lot of 4 for 50s, and all of these are ones, again, I haven't seen. So I got Inferno, which is the third Robert Langdon film. I read the book recently, and I enjoyed both The Da Vinci Code and Angels and Demons, so I wanted to check out the film. Well, with the exception of, oh no, I think I did end up reading all of the books before I saw both Da Vinci Code and Angels and Demons. So yeah, I think I did do that. So but yeah, I'm just sort of curious to see how they sort of adapted it. So that's Inferno. Then I got Kill the Messenger with Jeremy Renner. I don't know too much about this, but the premise seemed interesting, so I thought this would be sort of, because I think this is about how we're discovering that there's links, like US government links with the drug cartels in South America, so like propping up the like to topple the communist, I think it's to topple the communist regimes. I believe that was what was his, but yeah, it seems pretty interesting, so it sounds like it could be an intense like drama story. So yeah, I'm curious, been wanting to check this one out for a while, so got that. And then one of the last films I have to see from this year's Oscars, and that is Lady Bird, because I still have to see Lady Bird and Three Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri, and then I've seen all the Best Picture nominations, because I'm trying to, I try to at least watch all the films that were nominated for Best Picture in that year. So yeah, I've got 2 more left. So and that's because obviously I know obviously The Shape of Water won the Best Picture, which I have seen, and I did quite enjoy that film. But yeah, I'm curious to see what this one's like. So I know it got a lot of praise, and yeah, so I sort of heard a lot of good things about it. So picked it up to sort of complete the films from the Best Picture nominations that I haven't seen. So that one, and then again another film that was sort of featuring Jeremy Renner. I got Tag. I'm not expecting a huge much of it from this, but sort of seems like a fun comedy based on the trailers. So yeah, I thought I'd give this a try. So that's Tag. And then one film I sort of picked up from Amazon. It was ridiculously cheap. I ended up picking up Deadpool 2. Not as good as the first Deadpool in my opinion, but I did still enjoy it. And I'm planning in the new year to sort of start an X-Men rewatch in the lead up to Dark Phoenix. So I will be re-watching this as part of that, so, but I wanted to add it to my collection, so, like my X-Men film collection, so, yeah, so that's Deadpool 2. And then sort of the last batch of movies here I got from Sanity, so I sort of mixed and matched them because like part of them were from 4 for $50 and then a couple of them I added on, but it sort of comes through at the same price as when you do the 4 for $50, so I ended up getting 6 films like from that, so but these are all ones I have seen and a couple have been, actually a couple of older films like last year's and then a few from this year that I enjoyed, so but the first one that I have is one that I've been wanting to see for not see but own for ages, I should say, and that is Big Hero 6. I love Betamax, I love this film. I didn't own it, so I've since corrected that. And then sort of the next few are ones that I enjoyed from earlier this year. So I got the Guernsey Literary and Potato Peel Pie Society. I thought this was quite an interesting like period drama, sort of dealing with the aftermath of World War II for this like island, and sort of see how everyone's coping and dealing with the aftermath of that. And I thought it was, yeah, quite a different type of film, so it's one that, yeah, I quite liked. So that's the Guernsey Literary and Potato Peel Pie Society. And then I got The Mercy, which is based on a true life sailing like accident, because it was sort of about Colin Firth's character who's going to circumnavigate it was like to circumnavigate the globe and like without stopping, but then it turns out he sort of lied about his positions, and he made it out that he was further ahead than he was, and then he wasn't anywhere near the like the location. So I thought this was quite interesting, and yeah, so got that one. And then another one from this year that I picked up was Pacific Rim Uprising, which was the sequel to Pacific Rim. Not as good as the first one, but I still enjoyed it for like a sci-fi action film. So yeah, I had fun with it, so I decided I wanted to add it to the collection. And then sort of another catalogue film that well, maybe not catalogue, but one that's been released in the past, like it came out last year and I wanted to add it to my collection, and that is the 5th Pirates of the Caribbean film, Dead Men Tell No Tales. Again, I enjoyed this film, not as good as the first few like Pirates films, but this is a franchise I've sort of been wanting to do a rewatch of. So I think I did want like a rewatch in the lead up to this one being released, but I'd sort of been wanting to give it another like watch again, so I didn't have the 5th one, so I added it to my collection. I thought this one was pretty good, as I said, but like I think I liked it more than On Stranger Tides, but yeah, the original like Pirates trilogy is still the way to go for me, but got that one. And then last on the list is again sort of probably a random one to finish on, but I picked up Sherlock Holmes because I love any kind of Sherlock Holmes retellings, and I thought this one was like super cute, and I had a lot of fun. I loved sort of seeing how they adapted the Sherlock Holmes canon to sort of fit this. I haven't seen the first like what was it, Romeo and Juliet. I haven't seen the first one, but I wasn't really lost in watching this one, but yeah, I love anything to do with Sherlock Holmes, so this one I thought was, yeah, just a lot of fun, so I went ahead and picked it up for the collection. And that is it. That is all the DVDs and Blu-rays that I picked up in the past few weeks, so yeah, I think it's going to be a while before my next haul, because I sort of want to sort of restrict how much I'm buying, like especially next year, but I'll sort of talk about that more in my like goals and resolutions video that I'm planning to do for the new year. But anyway, the next part to this series and the final part will be like the random haul, and that'll be like what I got for Christmas as well. So yeah, I'm just going to stop it here. So thank you guys for watching, and until my next video, I will see you guys next time. Bye!